All right, welcome back. This lesson is going to be about creating brand new elements and adding them to the DOM. In the past, we talked about what the DOM is. We talked about how to select elements from the DOM and then how to manipulate those elements using properties and methods. And we can use those same property methods. We can create a brand new element, use those properties and methods on that element, and then add it to the DOM so we can see something visual in here. So I'm going to do something pretty simple, but we're going to see this work out. So first things first, I'm going to grab this header up here. And I'm just going to add something to the header up here. Something really simple. So I'm going to go header equals... Let's go headline, header element equals document dot query selector, and let's just say header. Okay. So then I've got the header, right? Header L, right there. That's our header. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a method on the document called createElement, and I'm going to create another headline up here. So I'm going to say const sub headline equals document dot create element. So createElement is going to create an element in JavaScript in memory for us. It's not going to add it to anything. It's not going to do anything to it yet. It's kind of going to be floating in space here. So I'm just going to do another H1. Oh. And then we'll see sub headline. And we've got H1 here, but this you see that it's nowhere on the screen up here, right? So now we have this H1 that's just kind of floating in JavaScript memory space. So now we can take any of those properties we had talked about and we can apply those to this subheadline before we're going to add it to the DOM. So we'll say subheadline, and let's say dot text content. It's going to say another headline. Okay, that's it. Now if we look at subheadline, we'll see that it has another headline inside of it. All right, so that's our text content. We can then say subheadline dot style dot font size. Remember, we have to use font size in the JavaScript way. Is going to be let's do, that's 3.8. So let's do, it's a subheadline. So let's say 3.4 rem. All right, that's the European way of doing 3.4. Let's do it our way, 3.4 rem there, okay? So we've got 3.4 rem. So now when I look at subheadline, look at that. We've got the text in there. We've got our style on there. And let's do one more style on here. So let's say color, and that's going to be slate gray. Oh. And look at that. We got our font size, we've got our color, slate gray. So we've got this H1 now just floating around in space. And remember, you can do any of these properties and methods that you want to style and change and do whatever you need to your element. Cool. So now we've got this element. We're like, all right, we're ready to put it on our page now. So remember, we grabbed the header element to begin with. So we're going to come down here and we're going to use a new property called append. And actually, it's not a property, it's a method, append child. All right. And append child, what it's going to do is it's going to look on your DOM. So there's our header. And these are the header's children, right? The H1 and the nav. Append child is going to put that new element at the end, and it's going to create a new child and create that element on it. So we should see our new sub-headline appear right around here when we're done here. So we just pass that element that we created. Remember, it just created it using createElement. We pass that right into there, and let's see what happens. Look on the screen, and now it's up there. Oh, it's a slate gray was a bad choice. So let's go sub headline dot style dot color, and let's just do white. And there we go. And now we have another child added to it. Notice it's not in our HTML, but it is on our DOM. Okay, so now we see we have that child that's appended on our DOM. Cool. All right, let's do another one, and let's create something called like an image. Let's go, we're going to grab our section, and these images are probably going to look really warped and messed up. Let's actually I'm going to do something to our section. Let's go section. It's going to be document.query selector. And let's just say section, because it's the only section we have on here right now. And I'm going to do something on here. Flex, style, flex wrap. So that'll allow us to wrap our stuff. So we'll be able to see all these things without warping the images. It doesn't look great. We would go in there and change this up. But for now, we'll just do flex wrap. And maybe we can do section dot justify content. We're going to do style, excuse me. And we'll say center. Okay, cool. So there we got our, we're going to have a new page here. We're going to add another image to this. All right, so let's come in here and let's create an image. So we're going to say const new cat. And we're going to say document dot create element. Okay, and in this one, we're going to pass the string of the element we want to create as an image. That has created a new image for us. We can see, we have image there. So it's a new image. So let's come through here and let's add a source to our image. New img dot source. Remember, this is one way of doing it. Or we could have done set attribute. And I'm going to add this other cat image into there. So like image source. New cat. Duh. All right, there we go. So now we say new cat, and now we have an image with a source, and then I want to make it look semi-decent, so I'm going to say new cat dot style dot margin right. It's going to be, let's do 20 pixels. And notice I put all of these in a string, right? Because if I didn't put it in a string, JavaScript's going to be like, what is that? That looks like a variable to me. There's nothing called 20px that's a variable. So we put it in a string, and now it knows that that's 20 pixels when it adds it to it. All right, so we have this new cat now, right? We have this new image, and let's do an alt on it as well, and we'll say another cat. All right, so we have a source, we have an alt on it, we have a style on it. Okay, so this looks like an image that we want to add. So let's go and grab that section again, right? We have the section. And now instead of doing append child, we can do something called prepend. And prepend is going to add it to the beginning of the list. So where Our section here has an image of that one image we currently have, and this div, prepend is going to put it right here, whereas append puts it at the end. So let's do prepend, and let's say new cat. And now we've got both of those cats on there, and it's added it to the beginning of the page, or the beginning of its children, rather than the end. That's how you create an element, that's how you style and manipulate that element, and then that's how you add the element to your DOM. Have fun with this, and I'll see you in the next one.